So you can see I've got a little gondola here hanging on a piece of spaghetti, some stones, and the trick is to put the stones in, and we're going to measure something about the spaghetti. What do you think we're going to measure about the spaghetti? How strong it is, its tensile strength. But I also want you to experiment on each other, okay? Because I'm going to give you the following rules. You're in groups of 3 or 4 for this experiment. You can choose whether to put a stone in or to skip your turn. And I want you to take it in turns to put a stone in, going round. If you put the last stone in and the spaghetti hasn't broken, you're the winner. If you break the spaghetti, you're the loser. You're experimenting on 2 things at the same time.
Yeah, no one's really gonna win. I'm gonna look at how you choose like your stuff. See if I'm wrong. Alright, your turn. Do you want to skip it?
Luckily it came out of the... Right, someone will want to move this side.
Yes. Give it.
No, that doesn't count. The reason isn't really a secret. It's looking at how you behave. It's really a secret.
That's embarrassing.
You're our go-getter.
I didn't even read the men. Wait,
We made certain assumptions about the rocks, didn't we? So you've got the size of your first man vision.
wait, you can't just forget like it was. Are we like trying to
So I haven't managed to get around to everybody, but I have been asking some groups whether something like this could be a help with one of the investigations. Remember, you're doing 2 investigations at the same time. You're investigating the strength of the spaghetti, and at the same time, you're investigating the behaviour of the people. Could this help you with one of your investigations? Which one would it help you with? The strength of the spaghetti. One of the great things about science is that we often come up with things, not only that we can observe, but also that we can measure. That's really handy. It's a lot harder to measure the behaviour of the people. I'd like you to tell me on your tables, so you'll need to choose one person for each table, your theory about the behaviour of the people.
I love mindfulness. What do you think is
I was kind of being pessimistic about it.
You are not competitive. You are not trying to trick each other.
Okay, who wants to tell us their theory from this table as to how what that says about human behaviour, not the spaghetti, but the human behaviour?
Okay. So we kind of came up with the idea that it was just kind of all equal, so we all put one in at the same time. So it was like, if it broke, then it was all
Distributed responsibility. So a theory of distributed responsibility. I asked them, would it have been the same with a table full of boys instead of a table full of girls? If you think the girls and the boys would have behaved in exactly the same way, distributed responsibility, give me a green card. If you think boys might have behaved differently, give me a red card.
we said that since boys have more testosterone, or whatever it's called, it makes them more competitive and want to win.
People can be competitive when they really don't need to.
Right? Do they need to be competitive in this game?
No.
No, they didn't need to be competitive.
If there was money or chocolate on the table, people take more seriously.
Ah.
So it's the seriousness of what's the outcome and the effect on you afterwards.
Ah, it could. That's exactly right. All right. So if there'd been £100 in it, would that have made a difference for anybody? Green cards, yes. £100 for being the last person to put in a stone. That would have made a difference. Red cards, no. You still would have gone for distributed responsibility or whatever strategy you did. Or many things. What about if there had been little miniature people inside the gondola? And if you were the one that broke it, they plummeted to their deaths. I'm going to summarise for us that Descartes' trick of saying that when we do an experimenter, we'll take the people out of the experiment because the people are a bit difficult to understand, is quite a clever trick, because the spaghetti is a lot easier to work with than the people. So some questions are more amenable to science than others for all sorts of reasons. Sometimes because you can't do the experiments that you might have thought could have given you an answer. Sometimes just because the people are too complicated. There are lots of things going on. Each of you has your own personality, and then we put you into groups and all those personalities interact, and then we throw in some rules, and then we throw in a hot afternoon and a billion other different factors, and you're never going to do the same thing again. And it's very difficult to get people to follow an experiment the way that we can get the spaghetti to.